Yes.
President Toohey.
Yes. Item 13 is a public hearing. First, I will read the item. Adopt a resolution declaring a portion of the approximately 21-acre city-owned real property located at 6107 Brookshire Drive, commonly known as the Water Reserve Number 3 site, as surplus and authorizing its transfer to Catholic Housing Services of Western Washington. Is there a presentation from staff? I don't believe so. Okay. I will now proceed to open the public hearing. And I do have one citizen who would like to comment on this. Aaron Powell, will you please step forward?
My name is Aaron Powell. I live at 6413 Elliott Way, less than 1/10 of a mile from this new proposed site. First of all, hearing the public hearing tonight, it bothers me that the importance of our city workers is supposedly so important to you in a mandate, and public works may spread into the hundreds of millions of dollars I just heard tonight for the public works department. And we are giving away land. We are giving away land to the that was designated, that as we as homeowners knew that it was property specifically for this. When we bought our houses, we did our research on our family and our properties. We saw this. We live in a barrier. It sits at the top of the hill, which is a natural barrier from down below. Just last week, we had a shooting right in that area, and it was over drugs. What you are proposing is to bring 65 people who are addicted to drugs into an area that is actively populated with drug dealers just down below. But they won't venture up the hill now. You all say how great it is that we're going to put in a sidewalk and lights. It's just going to make it easier for these people, that undesirable people that we don't want, the street activity, to be able to come up the hill and affect and harm our children and our communities. This is totally unfair, as we've time and time again, we've been lied to by this council. We have been told that this is the last amount of money, and then this is the last amount of money that we're going to give. And another week, and oh wait, no, it's fully funded, but wait one more week and we're going to have to add a little more money to this. Even adjusting our public works, which is going to come into a crisis here real soon. It makes me wonder about your priorities. Is it the safety of our citizens as a whole, or is it a small group of people that you are affecting by this? Our children don't deserve this. Our children don't deserve to be mitigated circumstances, for you to mitigate the problem that you put there. I ask you, do not transfer this land. Wait, find out what the public works needs first. Let's put the safety of all our citizens in first and foremost. There's areas that are more appropriate for these drug-addicted people to be, and it's not where children live. Our children do not deserve this. Our elderly do not deserve this. Just last week, my father moved to downtown. He is starting to experience dementia. He moved into an apartment building downtown. I felt pretty safe. It's a locked community. He has a little poodle. He likes to walk around the neighborhoods. Well, he was walking one day, and a girl approached him that was homeless. She came up to him, and she befriended him. He eventually let her come into the house, and I call him every day. He kept this from me. By the time I found him, she was doing tricks in his bathroom and doing drugs in the house. She lied to him. I don't think the people of Everett and the people of my community have the resources to be able to know how to deal with this particular problem of these people coming in. You are lumping a huge group of people into this community that doesn't need to be there. We don't have the resources. Please don't transfer this. I'm begging you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here this evening who would like to speak on this? Please step forward. Give us your name and address for the record.
My name is Paula Townsell. I live at 6115 Capri Place, also known as 211 Capri Place. I'm in the neighborhood that Aaron Powell lives in. I did submit my application to run for the appointment for the city council position. I got it in the email, sent it off, drove down, passing Value Village while the shooting was going on. So it is not really any safer than any other area of South Everett, which I reside in. I have been paying attention this last year. I thought about speaking sooner. I should have spoke sooner. I should have congratulated Cassie on being our first female elected mayor. I am so proud of the work you did to get into this. I should have congratulated Ethel. I'm so proud of the work you did to get up here. This is the most diverse and amazing group I have seen up here in all the videos I watched, going back through all the previous council work. I have been paying attention this last year. I got very active. I paid attention to what was going on with the low barrier transition housing. I misunderstood and didn't note that you guys were surplusing the property. That causes me concern. I'm not concerned about offering the low barrier housing. It's important. I knew you were partnering with Catholic Community Services, which is important, and I think that's great. We do have to have somebody experienced in human services to operate there. I guess I had thought, as a resident and a property owner in Everett, that there would be accountability from the city for this low barrier housing. I am very concerned at the surplusing of the property. We lose it from the standpoint of the pool of resources we have in this city. Developing it for low barrier is a great idea. It's something that's needed. We need to have it in the city of Everett. The location's been determined to be best served there. I agree with what the determination to date has been, but I do want to let you know I am concerned and did not understand you were talking about surplusing that property. I don't know that that's in the best interest of our city to surplus it and then have it served by Catholic Community Services. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak on this tonight? Okay. Seeing none, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember McNeil.
Yes.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy.
Yes.
Councilmember Stonecipher.
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts.
Yes.
President Shui.
Yes. Is there any further discussion on this from council? Councilmember Stonecipher.
Paula, thank you for coming tonight and expressing your concern over this. I don't know that this will make you feel better, but I did want to, for the record, just state that there is a use restriction covenant that is affiliated with the surplus of the property. If Catholic Housing Services ceases to provide this specific service or violates some of the terms that we've outlined of their maintenance and use of the property, the city does reserve the right to reclaim the property. So, it can't be used for anything else. We're not giving it up for any commercial purposes. It's under a very specific set of restrictions that would only allow it to use it for low barrier housing. As far as the safety issue, I've said this before, but I think just before we take this surplusing vote, I want to just reiterate that I have visited one of Catholic Housing Services facilities that is similar to this one, toured it. I was very impressed with the program that they offer there. Additionally, Councilmember Tui and I doorbelled in the neighborhood around. It really is in the middle of a residential neighborhood in Seattle. And what we learned from some of the neighbors there was that there was a lot of ambivalence and hesitation and concern about the siting of the facility in their neighborhood. But the response and the result of the facility, which had been there, I don't know how many years, but it had been several years, was really all favorable. A lot of the residents who had been leading the charge against it actually were pretty pleased with the way that they were managing their facility in their neighborhood, and many of the residents of the facility had become active members in the neighborhood community there, as well as some artistic nonprofits that are in the area there. So I am, while I recognize this, for some, this is just a leap of faith, I'm very confident that the facility that and the program that Catholic Housing Services runs is a very top-notch program and something that is needed in our community. When we hear these stories about people who are concerned about the homelessness in our issue on our streets, what we have to remember is those are the homeless people. The idea of this facility is to provide a home for them so that they're not on our streets anymore. And I'm very confident that this is going to be a good project, and we'll happily support this.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Moore.
More of a clarification from city attorney or staff. This action tonight is surplusing the property, making it available to now negotiate a purchase and sale agreement. Or what is the sequence there? Because we have spoken about having in advance a copy of those covenants so that we can consider them before we get to the final stages of what they may entail.
Yeah, Jim Miles, City Attorney. The covenants have been provided to council for some time,
Right.
and so tonight's action would actually transfer the property and also authorize the execution of the documents. I think Hill is here to elaborate on that, but
No, so it is all one action tonight.
Yes.
So if I wanted to provide some input on the covenants, I should have spoken up some time ago. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments? Okay. Seeing none, do I have a motion to adopt the resolution?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember McNeil.
Abstain.
Councilmember Bader.
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy.
Yes.
Councilmember Stonecipher.
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts.
Yes.
President Shui.
Yes.